I really had a great time with these guys. They have a great sense of humor. They are an amazing band. I'm hoping we can persuade more music from them. Really a great band, period. And if you haven't listened to them, I would strongly advise getting over to Spotify and listening to their back catalog. You won't regret it. Oddly enough, we had an interview just recently in Hungary, and that time we got right. Central Time, no, we can't get that.
Yeah, I can't get time zones right. Sorry.
Don't ask.
And where are you?
We're in East Coast, Baltimore.
Ooh, Baltimore.
Yeah.
See me that club.
Nice setup, guys.
Lots of
Thank
fun
you.
here.
We love Wisconsin. Are you guys familiar with Lords of the Trident, the band?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good friends with them.
They
yeah.
have also
Nice.
been guests on our show.
Yeah.
Cool. They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Great
God.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Ty for a long time was trying to teach Mark how to screen print, giving
Yeah.
him advice. So hopefully we'll get there someday. We
Someday.
just got there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So,
Some work in progress.
this is great.
Cool.
I'm so glad to have you guys on. You're gonna find that I'm a disturbingly intense Last Crack fan, so don't be alarmed. So.
I don't know if I believe that.
All right, let's do some questions then. Okay.
Well, you come up with them then.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Well, I will say, Mark actually introduced me to you guys, and I, along with I think lots of people hadn't heard this, and I kind of put myself into I was listening to you guys while I was going for a run and this and that, and I was like, wow. It's like one of those neighborhoods you drive in and every house is different because everyone's almost a different architect. That's how I would describe it.
Nice.
As close as I could come up to is like a mix of like Van Halen, Clutch, Crack the Sky. That's as close as I could come.
Pretty good. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that analogy. I've been doing real estate appraisal for like 20 years now, and you hit a home run on that housing stuff, girl.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Architecture.
Okay. It's gonna be big.
Oh, wait, what were you like? You saying all 3 albums, or maybe just Burning Time, or what?
Well, there's right, so am I allowed to talk about Runhead Start Screaming, because that'll come up later. So I don't want to offend anybody, but I do have questions about that record. So it's
Go
all
for it.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I don't count that one.
Well, I know why. I know why you don't. Yeah. So okay. So let's start with what on earth was the environment like when you guys got together in the early days to create Sinister Funkhouse 17? I mean, that album doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard to this day. So how did you come together? Let's start there.
How about 2 different perspectives?
Okay.
So I was in Austin, Texas, trying to make it because of 120 Minutes. There were some really cool bands down there that were featured on MTV.
MTV, right? Yeah.
So like they started to come up to La Crosse where I was going to school, and I got to be friends with these bands from Austin, Texas. Like, this is the place to be, man. Packed up, went down there, tried to make it, quote, tried to find something for a year. Decided it wasn't working, so I came back to Wisconsin and put all my shit in my parents' basement. And after about 2 months, I put an ad up at Good and Loud Music. It said lead vocalist available back home from Austin, Texas. And then while that was all going on, this was going on.
So the question
this was all going on.
What kind of environment was it before we recorded the first album?
Yeah, because I mean that album it's so feral. I don't know.
What do you mean by feral exactly? I mean, it was wild, or
yes, it is. It's all right.
Well,
there's so many layers of lead guitar, and there's lyrics like there's lyrics like Slicing Steel and Sarah Boy's Cage, and
Sarah Boy's Cage. That's an interesting story, actually. Yeah. So wow. So I'm really thankful for the live album that you brought up. Okay. Very much so, because it had the songs from the first album on there, It's finally sounded good, to be honest with you. And so that is just a gem. And that's probably like my favorite album, pretty much, because it's a beautiful live album. But
when he does, but when Buddo does Gush Volcano Crush, he has to go boom. He has to say his own booms in that song.
I remember him coming up with that, and I'm thinking, what the hell is he talking about? What do you think he's talking about?
I don't know. I need to know. I need to know. Yeah.
Well, we won't get into that, but
yeah.
You know, it all happened real fast, to be honest with you.
What I think happened, just to be a little remedial here, when I was in Austin, Texas, these guys were part of two different bands. They were rival bands, Alliance and Hardline. So it was Paul and Don together, and then Reno and Phil together, the bass and drums, and they were in rival bands. And so they happened to get together because they're like the best around, and started to just jam. And then what the first audition I had there, we played Ain't Talking About Love, or I don't know.
Why do you want to say all
something
that?
Like
there was some Van Halen in there. I knew it.
Or something. And then I said, do you guys have any originals?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of question is that? Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, play one. Should we? They had 4. So they ripped into these 4 originals, and they sounded fucking amazing. And I thought, I can hear the words. I can hear what's going to happen here. And so that's how it was, like boom. So they were meshing the machine.
We already had it. We already had the machine going. But I specifically remember him coming in and singing, you know, to be honest with you, now that you're bringing up all these other songs and whatnot, he sang a Ted Nugent song. And I'm like, this fucker can sing, man. And tell him about when you met us at what was it?
Menards.
He's got it.
Yeah, we met like in a Menards parking lot. You know, it's like one of those questionable things. Like, am I going to trust these guys? Are they going to beat me up? So I followed like the old Monte Carlo with all these guys packed into it out to our practice place, which turned out to be Sinister Funk House number 17, the storage room.
That's what that's from.
17. It was just a unheated, like 15 by 12. And that was where we wrote basically all that first album.
He had a punching bag. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
But yeah, it was funny because Don says, "Oh, you can sing," but he's the guy that said, "Let's give him another shot."
Well, he
you
came
can't
in
let
with
on too much, right?
He came in with a punk attitude. He had ripped up jeans, and crazy. It was a denim coat with paint all over it. I mean, artistically, right? I'm thinking, man, this guy's. So we did not come from punk. We did not. Last Track did not come from punk.
No.
He brought punk in. I'm thinking the guy doesn't, you know, he looks a little different, whatnot, but the guy could sing. I couldn't believe it. He's going he's punching. He brings a punching bag in there. But Buddo really, our very first gig, he stood on the damn top of the mains. The mains are what? How tall? I look over. What the hell is Buddo doing? He's got his shirt off and he's got the microphone stand like this. He's strung like Jesus. He's not even singing.
Oh my God.
For like how long? The whole song.
Not even singing.
Not even singing. I'm like, what is going on with this guy? Well, you know, it's all good.
All right. So what is Blood Brothers, the Big Black Bear about? What's it about? Come on. This is life's lessons right here. You know.
Yeah, we got questions.
That's a real story, by the way.
Am I ever going to run for office?
Okay.
Let's see. I'm 58 years old now.
We're in the twilight years. I doubt it. Right.
I guess, you know, Biden's going to be 84, right? So
Is he?
It could happen.
What do
so let's see. I've got like 25 years. I mean, and I think culture might evolve a little bit more. So if I could say that Blood Brothers are the Big Black Bears about dropping acid, it still might, it might be acceptable in, you know, 20 years.
Are you implying that there were drugs involved in Sinister Funk House 17? I can't believe this.
What are drugs?
Well,
and that album cover, my God, whose idea was that? Here's the part, here's the thing that I'm 19 years old and I pull that record out of the racks and instantly I thought someone said, "I'll be naked in front of a blood splattered background," and all the other guys went, "All right, yeah, okay."
No,
Did that happen? I mean,
no.
So this was pretty interesting. I was down. We were living in Minneapolis at the time, and we went down to Madison for a Halloween, and I ended up out alone and sleeping in somebody's apartment, like a flat, on the couch. And I don't remember how exactly I got there, but I woke up. It was like dawn in early November, October, freezing cold outside. I woke up and there was nothing in this room but the couch I was on, bare walls, and there was a mannequin head hanging from the ceiling.
God.
Okay, just a mannequin head. And I mean, crazy shit happens in Madison during Halloween, especially then. Maybe not so much anymore. I don't know. But anyway, I woke up on this couch, and the first thing in my vision was like this decapitated head. And I thought that just had such a physical impact on me. I wanted to try to recapture that feeling myself. And that's what I did with, I didn't even tell the band I was doing this.
No.
It was all a surprise. I didn't even tell the photographer.
You didn't know you were doing it. You just did it.
We had a band photo, and I said, "Hey, can I try an idea alone?" And the photographer, he goes, "Yeah, what do you need?" I said, "Well, just the white backdrop. I'm gonna throw a bunch of red paint on there, okay?"
right.
He goes, "Yeah, sure. Go. It's a psych wall." I did that and got naked. I said, "Start shooting," and it was like a 5-minute extra thing at the end of a photo shoot. And then all that, I didn't even tell these guys.
No.
And I had no idea what it was going to look like. I just knew it had to be
He
done.
pretty much did it for himself, to be honest with you, to be completely honest.
Well, everybody went with it. You know?
Well, somehow the record company saw it.
Monty, so this photographer sends all those pictures off, all the film. And then like a week later, Monty calls me, tracks me down to my parents' house. Now we're getting close to Thanksgiving. And he goes, "Buddo?" And I go, "Yeah, how'd you find me?" "Well, I knew your name was
X.
Yeah." And so I found your parents' house and their number. So I thought I'd try there because it's Thanksgiving. I'm like, "Wow, okay, Monty, what's going on?" He goes, "Hey, listen, you know that shot you did with the bloody wall and you're naked shooting like an archer?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's going to be the cover." And I go, does it look okay? I haven't seen it yet, but I hope it's what I envisioned. He goes, "Oh, it's fucking great. It's fucking great. We got to do this. We got to do this."
No choice.
Okay, let's do it, Monty.
No choice. I didn't have a choice either.
Wow.
So where did the name Last
Yeah,
Crack actually come from?
Okay, so coming back from Austin, I'm 4 years older than these guys, which isn't much, but back then when you're 22 versus 18,
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah. So I came back from Austin, and I didn't want to play in a heavy metal band. I didn't want to play in a heavy band.
Who was heavy metal though?
Right. We've had this discussion over and over. I wanted to be like a progressive underground alternative band.
Yeah.
And I came back, and well, these guys answered the ad, and I'm like, okay, these guys are a machine. They're so good, but God, they're metal.
We weren't metal, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're metal. And then I thought, so I'm gonna name one of these songs "The Last Crack of Doom." Okay, like something just so cliched.
He's sarcastic about it, which he's done so many times. Oh my God!
I called it "The Last Crack of Doom," and then it's funny because Paul said, Schluter goes, "Hey, we should just drop the of Doom thing and just have the song called Last Crack." And then, well, what about some other names? How about Smash Palace? That sounds like a cool name.
No.
Or something else. And then Pablo actually said,
you said that.
Pablo said, "I think we should just be called Last Crack," so after the song. And so that's what happened. It started with kind of
his memory's a little cuckoo.
Okay.
He came up with the name Smash Palace. Okay. A couple months later, I happened to look in a modern drummer magazine, drummer of Smash Palace, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell? This name is used? I went to you, and so many times I've brought stuff to him and talked to him about it, and he just doesn't really respond. And so he didn't respond about it. So I was only to conclude that he knew about possibly, and still I don't know. That name was already used, man.
That sucks.
But that's not a coincidence.
Okay, but Smash Palace is the name of a movie.
Help me on this.
It's an underground movie that I heard
I
about.
would love to
Yeah.
help you. I don't know.
I-
I don't know Smash Palace. I don't know.
I didn't know this guy's name for over 3 months. I'm not kidding you. I think
We
it's a
got to warm
joke.
up to these things. You know, I mean, come on. Yeah.
You just met these people
right,
in a
so-
parking lot.
Right. All right. So, you guys were in, remember when you were in Rip Magazine? Like you were interviewed for Rip Magazine?
Yeah, yeah.
I had that magazine and I was like, they fucking made it. They made it.
Made what?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
me, you had made it. I was like, they're in Rip Magazine. We're done. We're done.
No.
Last crack bitches. Yeah, they're gonna be huge. And that was what
Was
I
that-
thought.
Do you remember? Was the
Full spread.
author Sean Duffy?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Everything
God.
in Rip. All right, everything in Rip Magazine was always like, we met up with these guys at 3 a.m. after an all-night bender and blah blah. You know, everything was always like the Hangover interview in Rip Magazine. You know, and it was just like, all right, this doesn't sound like the best interview, but it's an interview and people are seeing it, so they must have made it. You know, yeah,
Okay.
it's a big deal for me. Yeah. I bought that magazine and I showed all my college roommates. I was like, look, bitches, fucking last crack told you. Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate it very much. I
Yeah.
truly do.
All right. So moving on. All right. So we go to Burning Time, right? And you guys get the producer. What the hell was the guy's name? The fucking
Dave Jordan.
the Jane's Addiction, Alice in Chains guy, right? And all right. So tell me about working with him, because I know compared to the first album and that one, was he like the Bob Rock? Was he like, no, that's 5 measures. No, back it up. Like, did he
Polish.
polish the sound?
Good question.
Was it-
No,
No.
he really didn't. No, he dipped in and dipped out because we were so initially when we got to LA, we had space rented out and we
Okay.
played him an album. We literally, I think we played it to him twice in a row. And he had one remark. He said, why don't we tie this song into this song? And we did it real quickly. That's the only thing that I remember that he had to say.
He had to
And then he
step
said-
up. No,
And then he
it
said,
was just
that'll be $250,000. Thank you.
weird.
No, it wasn't that much, but
Right. I
Yeah.
just think that we congealed as a band. We went from like this half cover band, half like tongue-in-cheek Sinister Funkhouse originals to living together to really becoming creative artists together. And that's what Burning Time did.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but our production at Paisley Park with Randy Green. I mean, we did the best we could, but the tones were terrible. I'm sorry. And we had Jim
On Burning
Rondinelli.
Time? I love
Jim
the Burning
Rondinelli's a
Time
great
record. I love it.
engineer,
Oh my-
but I just think that we didn't know what we were doing in there. I mean,
No,
as
no,
a
no.
whole team,
Right,
from Randy Green
right.
to
Nobody did.
Jim Rondinelli to us, we didn't know what we were doing there, but we had Paisley Park locked out for a whole week. It was awesome.
Sinister is what we're talking about. I heard you
Yeah.
say. Sinister Funkhouse.
Even though
Okay,
the
so-
tones
okay, yeah.
the tones weren't good, but what happened with Burning Time, man, everything just happened right. Okay, our chemistry became powerful and we moved to Minneapolis, and that caused a lot of stuff in our bands personally. And then we got managers, Gary and Peter, who do you want to produce their next album? We're like, are you kidding? How about
Phil came up with that.
no, I did.
Did
I said
you?
Dave Jordan because of Nothing Shocking.
Yeah.
Somebody said King's X's producer, which I don't remember.
Sam Taylor.
Huh?
Sam Taylor was King's
Is it
X's
Sam
producer.
Taylor? Okay.
Sam Taylor. yeah.
And there was a third, I don't remember, but he goes, which one is number one? And then by this time it was like, we're all brainwashed on Nothing Shocking. We got to, get Dave if we can. And so he went to work on it and got it. So that was a 6
Right
week,
away.
that was a 6 week recording process.
We
We
got
stayed at Oakwood Apartments right below
which is ripped down.
Heavy D. He had rap music going every night.
Which is ripped down. I was just there, but
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I was in Hollywood driving. I said, take me to Oakwood. gone,
Wow,
Oh.
bummer.
gone.
Okay, but yeah, so we had 6 weeks versus a 1 week, and we had, I mean, Dave Jordan. God, the dude is just so hands off. He was studying the Pony Club.
Yes.
He was like the
part
Rick
of a-
Rubin. Like, yeah, like
That's what I hear. And he was
Yeah.
playing Tetris the whole time.
Right. You
Paul
guys
turned it on.
you guys just do what you think is right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really what it was.
Yeah, but if you heard something wrong, he would point it out. He'd say, "Try this instead."
A little bit about that a manager put you with acts that you should have never been with? Who did you get put with?
You're referring to what exactly?
There was an article written and it was saying that your management kind of mismanaged you by putting you with acts that were too metal or too off.
Oh,
Oh
you're
my
talking
God.
touring.
Like
Yeah,
Deicide.
and then it was always like that. Deicide, yeah. Same label. I mean, upside down cross, throwing meat out into the crowd.
All right, so hold on. All right, so the first album's on what? Road Racer, which is
Road
small,
Racer.
and then Road Runner's bigger. Is that how it worked, or what?
Road Racer, I
similar.
believe. No, Road Runner was European. Road Racer was the American side, or
Okay.
vice versa. It was just the
Right.
same.
It's
Same
so
way.
freaking confusing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And I never understood it.
Yeah. But I mean,
I was just like,
Burning Time seemed like it had push behind it. I mean, compared to the first.
no, it was the music though. It was so much better, and it sounded better. The first album just did not sound like Bud was saying. It just didn't sound
Well, the
good.
first
In
album
my opinion.
kind of a compressed, almost Rat Van Halen sound, but you're not playing that style of music. But that was the production. We sounded.
You
to me
talking
like-
Burning Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuck.
No. I'm talking Sinister Funkhouse had that
Oh.
kind of compressed Rat Van Halen sound to it, and then Burning Time was just, I love the production on that album. That it just
Well, that's
like-
why I'm telling you, Funkhouse Live it had the opportunity to hear the first album produced better. It sounds better of the songs on the first album.
Yeah.
And it's both albums live, and it finally gave the first album a chance. It was more.
What is all right? So the question is Downbeat Dirt Messiah? Is that about dirt bikes? Is that about what is it about?
That was his theory.
All right. So this was part of the creative process. Like when we moved to Minneapolis, we moved up to a lame suburb called New Brighton, and then after a few months of being out in the suburb area, we went down to Penn Avenue, which is kind of more like gritty in the dirt of the city a bit, and so you get to feel a little more urban, which I love. So we got this house. We all rented a house, and it had like 4 bedrooms upstairs, and
cockroaches.
I chose the basement.
Oh.
And there was this root cellar about 10 by 8, and so I threw a carpet down in this root cellar, and I built a door, and I painted it red, and I called it the vault. And so I could get away from everybody and not have to hang out.
Haunted as shit that house was.
They say it's haunted.
Oh, it was.
But that seems to be a theme in my life.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'd be in this vault in my root cellar, and actually in the summer, mold started growing under my carpet because I was sleeping on the floor on a sleeping bag. It was pretty gross, but I was becoming a root. Okay, and I thought about this, and I thought, I'm a fucking dirt messiah.
Oh my god.
Okay, I am
That was a
growing
law.
out. I am growing out of this dirt.
He still is.
I'm
becoming
growing out
one
of
with
this.
the earth. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I can get up and I can move my body and rise up. So yeah, Downbeat Dirt Messiah is actually taken from that inspiration of
Oh my god.
living in a root cellar.
It
And
was
He
so
got all of his ideas pretty quick. He really did on every song we ever did. I mean, it's wham wham. Very proficient writer. But
all right. So Burning Time is an amazing record, and you got some push, and I went to the first Lollapalooza, and you guys weren't there, and why not?
well,
Fuck
yeah. So we didn't get that much push, did we? Then
Yeah, I know.
you
I know.
should've.
Why? What happened?
you're gonna ask what went wrong here, and this is a major reason why Don's here.
We want
wanna
all
hear
opinions.
this,
Yes.
brother.
You're gonna ask me what went wrong with everything?
Well, what happened? How come?
Well, we split up after 3 months after the album came
That's it?
out.
See,
You want me
Like
to
there
put,
was dueling managers and a bunch of
you
stuff.
want us
Was
to
it-
pull our pants down and show us our chodes or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, let's do it.
We were on tour. Oh God, we toured, and then 3 months after the album came out, he dropped a bomb on us in San Antonio at the pool and said, "I'm leaving." And you want to ask why?
Why did
Probably
you leave?
better
Buddo?
directed.
What was the reason?
Yeah.
Okay, so God, I know I've written about this. So it's really difficult. I'm gonna have to make it a Reader's Digest version. They're like maybe I don't have it all written, but I'm guessing maybe 5 different points. Number 1 would be my divergence from the band, becoming a front person, a personality instead of a band member, getting a lot of the attention from Roadrunner, etc., seeing something that they could run a ticket with, and actually asking me to do more crazy shit to attract attention, etc.
And then get pissed off when he did it.
Or didn't. Yeah. The next one would be, I love Phil, but I didn't trust Phil, our drummer. I really felt like it was a delicate balance on the road, and seeing sex and drugs a lot threw me off. Okay. And
He thought it was a polka band,
Okay.
no,
All right.
but I kind of felt like I was trying to like coalesce these really good energies and be a light in the dark. And then when I see something rotten in my own ship, it kind of throws me off. So I'm like, damn, I feel distance already, and now the rats are kind of running on the ship, and I started to lose my identity I lost my center, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I thought that these guys could find another singer, because they were 4 really good high school dropout friends, high school friends.
We didn't all go to high school together, and he greatly underestimated the power of chemistry.
Yeah.
It's true.
Great.
It's true.
Very important. Very important. Yeah.
So yeah, we talked about this tonight before, he showed up a couple hours early. We were just kind of chatting and blasting the Marshall lamp. But he said, Bud, the managers should have said, just take a month off.
We had 2
He's
managers.
like, we're gonna pull this tour. Just take a month or 2 off, go hang out, go back to Wisconsin, go back to Madison, and put your head back on.
Right.
And I really think that probably would have helped. But we had 2 managers, and they were kind of thinking 2 different things. One was thinking
Ching.
Buddo's way, and the other was thinking band way.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of I could feel in like the late 80s, early 90s, I thought the Midwest metal scene should have been the grunge scene.
Yeah.
I thought that bands like you and the Coup de Grace and
Oh my God, you remember them?
yeah,
Mhm.
and the Red
Soul
Decibel Band,
Coup de Grace.
Rapscallion. Yeah,
Friends
I
of
mean,
Raps guy and friends
yeah,
of
I
ours.
mean, and then I heard that fucking shitty early Soundgarden shit, and I was like, these guys will never be
the very first album, Soundgarden, he did not have his
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know.
they were terrible. I mean, so
crew though.
I-
He's one of my favorite artists,
I
favorite
thought for
singers.
sure that the Red Decibel Band should have been they should have been the next big thing in the early 90s. I mean, to me, all those bands in Seattle, they did a lot of really seasoned production to get them where they ended up being,
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Just like
Okay.
freaking our first album, man. It needed it.
Dude, your first album's awesome. I love it. I love Sinister
I
Funkhouse. I
say
love
that, and I am late to the party, okay? But like Good Morning Funkhouse, when that intro starts up and it sounds like it's an orchestra tuning up in a well during a satanic, ritual, I'm like, here's my money right now.
That wasn't designed to be on that album. That was
Really?
it was actually a demo that we did prior to even recording our album months earlier with a different person. And we slapped it on there is what happened.
Sarah Boy's Cage sounds like that scene in
That's a whole
Crossroads.
story.
Sounds like
Hold
that
it.
scene in Crossroads with Steve Vai when he's the devil's guitarist. That's what it always reminded me of. I freaking love that.
You know, and
I
the
mean,
yowls and concrete
I think
slaughter
I
dogs.
think everything you hate about that record is everything I love about
I
it.
don't hate it.
It's good. You know, do you know Sarah? So Sarah Boy's Cage,
Yeah.
the woman Sarah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's written after an actual person. So these guys, during our audition, my audition, these guys were pretty much all living with this rich Oscar Mayer trust fund baby. And she took this band, these 4 guys, under her wing, and basically bought them clothes and
Not me.
let them live in her apartment and eat all the food and whatever. No laundry done, just buy new clothes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
They had a benefactor. Yeah.
she was pretty rich, and these guys were there.
Granddaughter of Oscar himself.
So the band would hang out at Sarah's house on the west side of Madison. So it's like, where are you guys? Oh, we're at Sarah's. Come on out to Sarah's. Like going over to Sarah Boy's Cage. Because Sarah's like, you know,
he didn't like it. He liked the grunge more so. He wanted to eat the shit. I mean, he wanted to just pay his dues. I did also. That's why I moved out of the Sarah Boy's Cage and slept on a freaking floor for 8 months. Ate fucking potatoes. Excuse my language.
Can we swear on this?
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage it. No, but I mean, think about it. Besides Eddie Vedder, and I mean, let's get real. Pearl Jam's the only good band out of all of them. They're all dead. They all fucking killed themselves.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. They couldn't hang.
They couldn't. Well, because it was all about, I've done so much drugs. All right. If you have to talk about it, I don't want to hear about it.
A lot of times it's not them talking about it though. It's the press. No, yeah.
If it's in the lyrics, if the lyrics are about how much smack I've done today, you've already lost.
Lane Staley could not help himself but talk about it, man, because he, you know, same producer there, Dave Jordan.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
you know, I believe he did their first album and then went straight into ours.
I've had conversations with people about you guys and, you know, the other Rapscallion and all the other Wisconsin bands. And I said, you know, the reason why they didn't make it big, they didn't look as cute as Kurt in a cardigan. If Kurt, I mean, think about it this way. If Kurt hadn't been good looking, would grunge have even happened? What the fuck?
I don't know, but he sure looked good at, whoa. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is an interesting point because coming from like more of a punk rock, I mean, to be successful is like the worst thing that can happen to you.
Right.
It's totally anti-system, and it's such an ironic because you don't want to be liked.
Right.
So you want to be intentionally shitty and intentionally obnoxious. Okay. But it's really weird because Kurt Cobain, he was a martyr, man. He was like the fontes head of the whole movement. Finally, punk rock broke through into the mainstream. It's almost like he had to die. I'm sorry. But he's like the guy who carried punk rock to as high as you could get. And he made it commercial, but he was an awesome songwriter. And he had the attitude of punk rock, okay? He started on SST, right? SST?
Well, Sub Pop.
Sub Pop, okay. And
don't make that distinct. That's a very different label. Yeah.
Say it again?
SST and Sub Pop are very different.
Yeah, but he was on Sub Pop.
Yeah, Sub Pop's very different. Yeah.
Sub Pop's more the hardcore.
I actually say to people, I like this band even though they're on Sub Pop. You know, I don't say that with SST.
Gotcha.
Anyway, but sorry. We're really getting in the weeds here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We get in weeds.
I don't know, but I think Kurt Cobain carried a generation.
I absolutely hated his voice so much. I hated it so much. I don't like Bleach. I think that Nevermind is a big Pixies ripoff. We could go on and on here.
Interesting.
I was with you guys. I was with the Midwestern metal bands. I was with Rapscallion. I was with you guys, the Coup de Grace. I was shocked when you guys didn't make it. I mean, you know, I thought Soundgarden. I used to call Soundgarden sound garbage. I really did.
Silverchair.
Oh my! The Australian. What were they like? 17 or whatever.
Oh,
that's great. Yeah.
You don't like Silverchair?
Well, I mean, they were
all the
Yeah.
albums.
Well, I don't know. What are you gonna do? So anyway, all right. So let's move forward. All right. So we have the album without Buddo. We have the album called Run Head Start Screaming. Let's talk about that. I actually really like that record. Sorry, Buddo.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You'll
Oh my
find more guitar on there. You know,
It is so
great, great guitar.
rainy and dark and brooding, and the guitar is so bluesy. I love it. So tell me
Three
about
different
making that.
drummers. Three different drummers.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Okay.
I'd have to say two different producers, three different producers. Oh my goodness, what's his name?
Brian Malouf.
Oh, thank you, Buddo. Brian Malouf did Michael Jackson's Bad album. Mixed that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So basically, we got into Pachyderm Studios for free and Smart Studios for free because it's Brian Malouf. Oh yeah, open the door. Just have your
And no
fun.
bitterness from Buddo at all. You're just like, okay.
I don't know what his attitude was, man.
What was your impression of the whole thing?
He didn't like the name. The fact that we're probably using the name, right, bud?
I went to see them at OK's Corral, like probably their first show that they played.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by those guitarists.
Yeah, it's guitar.
I'm like, holy shit. Those guys are so good.
The slide guitar is so
Oh
fucking
my
amazing.
God, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Paul with a lighter, by the way. It's not a slide; it's a lighter.
Then he
Great
just
album,
picked
I
up
love it.
off the ground. It was like, I guess I'll use this. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. The guitars are amazing. And if I want to say there's one ingredient that runs, through Last Crack, it's the funky guitar riff.
Yeah, there's
Shoot.
always a funky riff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, true.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Oh, Butter, you were saying something though. You got cut off. I stepped on your head.
We're talking guitars now.
I don't know. There's a lot more guitar like lead as far as rhythm lead, whatnot. There's a lot more really nice leads on that album. But I really like the songs, to be honest with you.
Really
Very
good.
much like the songs on that album. I do not get bored of it. Like I said, three different drummers. We were struggling. Three different albums, three different drummers. How can you see you're not struggling?
Yeah.
Pretty much demos thrown together, to be honest with you.
So the guitar thing is interesting because absolutely. And, Paul Schluter is a genius. Okay. He's got a gift. And most of what Last Crack has done starts with Paul sitting on his couch, writing a riff, or being at a practice place and just like something comes out of nowhere. And when I'm in the band and I'm in a room with Paul Schluter, I'm like, that goes with this, here's the chorus, and then the song gets hammered out through the rest of the band. And then Bakken comes in and lays all these extra layers and textures on top of the bed. That's my take.
And he undersells himself all the time. All the time. You never give yourself enough credit because if you weren't there, shit would end up completely different. Because what you'll see, you'll stop the bus right then and there. So we're not wasting time. You'll say this there. You always undermine yourself on the aspects of the immediate structuring and arrangements of shit.
So,
And even melodies you hear in your head.
So Buddo, all right.
Yeah.
So the fucking cover for Burning Time, did you weigh 90 pounds or what? How fucking skinny were you? My
What the hell are
God.
you talking about? Oh God, no.
I wasn't 90.
Have you looked at, look at yourself. I mean, that where you're stretched out, you're
Yeah.
like, remember that movie, The Machinist? I'm like,
Tell me
my
why you did
God,
that.
how much did he lose weight for that?
I've
album?
got big ribs and I sucked in.
Tell me why you did that. What do you think that is? What do you think that cover is?
It looks to me like it's some kind of ritual, and that thing is what he's summoning.
What do you
Okay.
think he was summoning?
I've always thought of Buddo as a shaman of some kind. He's a shaman, He's summoning the gods of funk.
It's in the snow, my friend. It's in the
Mm.
snow, and that's a light bulb.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So I used to go bow hunting or bike riding away out in the fucking country. And there's a lot of it around here. And then I just remember this one field, like outside Madison, pretty far out west, probably like 5 miles out of town. And it was like this perfect, huge rectangular cornfield with no houses around at all on this empty country road. And there was corn there, but in the fall, it was just blank. And then in the winter, it was nothing but white and black, white and black. And I just remember thinking, that is a stage.
Yeah.
All right. And I thought, I want to use that. And so I had this idea of like the summoning, right?
Yeah.
And I found a huge light bulb from a theater. It was like the size of my head. And I ran it through a piece of conduit pipe on a mic stand, rented a gas generator from A1 rental, filled it up, ran an extension cord about 20 yards. And I was very careful to watch my footprints and shit like that. And I hired Dan Corrigan, this awesome photographer who's done Trip Shakespeare and Babes in Toyland and all that.
Yeah.
Great guy. So he didn't trust me. He was like, Buddo, where the fuck you taking me, dude? and it was freezing. It was the night that George Bush started the war on Iraq, Desert Storm.
Yeah, we always remember where we were. Yeah.
We were riding in my car with this gas generator in the back, and Dan's all bundled up in his parka and stuff. And he goes, where the fuck you taking me, dude? And listening to NPR, I was like, we started bombing right now at 9:00 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fuck, we did it. We getting into war. Pulled up, and it took me about half an hour to get all this stuff set up in this empty snowfield. And he sat in the car with the heat on. And then I said, okay, I think I'm ready, Dan. Why don't you check it out? He goes, wow, fucking, it was dark, okay? And there was moon. We had moonlight. He goes, Buddo, I'm not gonna have any light for this, man. I don't think this is gonna work. I go, just wait a second. The generator gets going.
Yeah.
That light booms up. Yeah. And then Dan instantly was possessed. He grabbed his light meter. It's like,
taking shot, man.
Running around, taking measurements everywhere. And I lit some incense to give it a smoke. And it was just, I loved how it turned out.
Buddo is a great visual artist.
Yes.
Absolutely a wonderful visual artist, Buddo is. What about the primo to the Burning Time? Have you seen that?
Oh boy.
Don't tell me you haven't seen that.
Which one?
Have you seen that
promo, like a promotional video? It's like 20 minutes long.
Have you seen that?
It's for which album?
Burning Time.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've seen it.
we filmed it in Minneapolis.
You filmed it. I didn't film shit.
I just know that every time I say to myself, you think you're heroin, skinny bitch? I pull up the fucking the Burning Time album, and I'm like, no, you're not. No,
Just wait.
Go do some sit-ups. Go do some sit-ups.
This cat comes back from where? I don't know. He's gone for a week. I don't know. He's gone out of state. He comes back and says, play this. I remember when I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's a little weird.
No. So yeah, tell me about this. What
well, Buddo, I mean, it was
Roadrunner just had this idea to do a promotional video featuring me.
Funny.
About explaining what the songs were about and kind of doing just some avant-garde art.
Wow.
And so they flew this guy Simon over, this director from England. And so we sat in a hotel for like 3 days and hammered heads about lyrics and images and all this shit. And he wrote up a storyboard. Crazy, and so then we actually did the filming probably in like 3 days. But it was like each song kind of had a little intro, and then some little vignette, and it's pretty out there.
He's talking about the album and pretty kind of almost about each song, but not really, but I mean, you're introducing each song, and it's just a really creative, just far out there kind of deal.
It is far out.
You gotta watch it.
Is it on YouTube?
I'll find it. I'll find it on YouTube.
Of course, it's on YouTube, but I don't know what you use to search it. To be honest with you,
Last Crack promo video. I don't know it.
You gotta watch it.
I find a link.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, how about the woman in front of what's her name? In front of Erica. What's the name of the song? Come on,
Kiss the Cold.
Kiss of the Cold. What about that? The introduction. That's 100% real. That woman
Wow.
talking. You remember that? Which
What the fuck is she talking about? What the fuck is she talking?
We were practicing out near Oregon, outside Madison, and we had like a Wednesday night practice, and I decided to go out there early and work on my Tascam 4
Did you know she was being recorded at the time?
No.
No.
So
I knew
there
she
was,
didn't. Yeah.
I showed up at like 1 PM on
It's
Wednesday,
real. It's real.
summer day, and the whole driveway is packed with cars. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go in the basement, and there's a party going on, huge party, and probably like 50 people running around, and I just kind of like, oh, there's Buddo. Hey, how you doing? Into the basement I go. I'm sitting down there recording some ideas on acoustic guitar and stuff like that, and this chick comes down, and she's unbuttoned down to her belly button and no bra on, and just
she was dancing to our music, stripping, literally. I mean, is what she was
That's a
doing.
good night, is what that is. Yeah.
Well, we're in a circle, and she's in the middle.
So these guys weren't due to show up for another couple hours. I was down there alone. She was just talking to me, and I had my headphones on, and she wouldn't stop talking to me.
I got that. I get that impression that you wouldn't stop talking. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I guess I'll just listen to this.
Right.
I took my headphones off and I sat there, and she kept going and going, probably for like an hour.
Yeah.
After about another 10, 15 minutes, I said, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Don't move. Went upstairs, got my little micro cassette recorder, said, I'm just gonna record this. So I put it in my pocket and I went back down. I said, okay, where were you?
Yeah.
And then I just let the tape run and talked to her, and then it was art. Okay. Yeah. I felt like her conversation was pure art. And then I did a little editing with Dave Jordan, and he goes, well, let's see if she'll let us do this.
Yeah.
So I called her and I said, can we use your voice before this song?
Go ahead.
And she said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh
Let me.
No,
So
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
This is at Oakwood Apartments. It's where we're living while we're recording. Yeah. Early in the morning, must have been, I call it early, 8. So Buddo is, I'm in one bed, he's in the other bed, and hey, Erica, we got, hey, hi, oh yeah, sure, I remember you. Well, we have this recording of, you were just talking, we want to use it on the album.
Kind of bearing your soul a little bit.
He didn't really say much of anything at all. Oh yeah, we're just, just kind of chatting. Okay, oh, no problem. And they edited, if there's this much, they just squashed it down, but that's all very, very, very real.
Yeah.
It's from the heart.
Yeah. I when I heard that, I thought, I wonder if there's going to be lawsuits about this. I did. I remember. Yeah. I was like, wow. Okay.
There wasn't, but did she sign anything?
No.
I don't think she's alive.
It was a different era back then. Yeah. You couldn't do that now. You couldn't do that now. No.
She got hit by a car and she ended up in a wheelchair.
Oh
my God. Was this after that?
Oh, yeah.
Look at you. You're like, oh, don't bring that. I know. Yeah.
So the tail end of Precious Human Stress, that song.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you listen at the very end, there's a dog.
That song is insane. What the
listen
fuck is that about? My God.
At the very end, if you listen closely, there's
yeah.
Dog. Me and Buddo went next door to where we lived, and we put a sock in the neighbor's, the dog, our neighbor's dog, his mouth. We're pulling, and Buddo's recording, So listen for that dog, and there's chains in there too,
That song is insane. Let's
and
talk
you
about
can hear
Precious.
that.
What is Precious Human Stress? What brought that about? That song is one of the craziest songs on that album.
So the way we work usually is that the music comes first, right? Maybe Schluter's part primarily, and then the rest of the band coalesces around that, and then I kind of come in as the arranger, put things in certain places. So when the song is complete, it's just like this awesome piece of music, which has some direction behind it, but it's just music, okay? And then I meditate on that stuff, okay? And I let it speak to me, okay? Like even with like the Uprising, the recent album, I would walk every day for like an hour and a half with these songs, just music on repeat. And all of a sudden these words and ideas and stories start to come to me. So like with this Precious Human Stress, I was listening to it over and over. It was very difficult because it's such a weird timing, and there's no melody in there. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy.
It's really wild. Yeah.
So I surrendered to it, and I said, you know what, this is a relaxation exercise. And at that time, like, you know, this home meditation tapes and all that, breathe deeply. You are in control. You know, relax. So I just decided to take all that and throw it into this.
You did a great job, man.
Yeah,
this total dichotomy of like this aggressive pain in the ass music and this kind of like a voice. It's like, it's gonna be okay, maybe.
Yeah. It's a great juxtaposition. It really is.
Right.
I
It's
wonder
like
if I remember
the
you
music
not,
is so insane. It's like
Yeah.
we are so not okay, but
Buddo, I wonder if I
saying we're
remember
okay.
you not
Yep.
wanting to deal with it so much and kind of, did I remember that correctly? You didn't really necessarily want to treat it so much like a song, but you just kind of went, okay, I'll make it work.
Yes.
Freaking great job, man.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Why don't you ask him about the uprising?
All
I
right,
gotta- I gotta run out for a second.
Okay.
All right. We have questions about the uprising.
A lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was actually talking about, that's like what I do when I run. I just like breathe and meditate and
This is all.
listen to you guys. So how
Okay.
did you guys get back to kind of come to reform and do the uprising? What kind of
Oh my goodness. Well, I can quickly tell you there's no really getting rid of it, to be honest with you. It always just comes back around. If I can answer your question there. I mean, we're here and he lives there, I live here, and he lives there. I mean, it always happens. I mean, I really don't know how to answer that.
Well, so like after, oh boy, I went to Japan and taught English. And then when I got back around 2000,
you did that for
There
like
was
a year, didn't you?
yeah, there was a huge flyer everywhere that said Last Crack Show. And I'm like,
I
how's
remember
it?
that.
Wonder how that's happening.
I remember that.
And it happened to be Sean Brown.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, whatever, you know, sure. That's fine. And then a couple months later, Rocker gets a hold of me and says, hey, do you want to do a Last Crack Show? Okay, so what happens is like people seem to resurrect us. It's like we don't come together naturally. We really don't.
Right.
There's some weird like magnet, you know, like not opposites, but like or something. There's an osmosis there that's pushing us away from each other. But somebody causes us to come together, like Rocker or Michael Alexander from Broadfest, or somebody
Is
else.
there ulterior motives?
Somebody else who wants to do a show for Last Crack, and we're like, you want to do a show? Yeah, I suppose. Well, we better practice. Okay. And then that's kind of how it happened with the uprising material. You guys should get back together, do a show. Oh, let's write a little bit too. So then we leave this debris of material for like a decade. And it's like, okay, well, we got all these things that have been coalescing for a decade now. Like, let's just get this together and make it the third album, because even if it took us a long time, it's still us all the way up.
Well put, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other words, you know, we had a lot of, go ahead.
I love the special things like Siren Song actually has sirens, and then you're listening to Golden Age, and here comes this children's choir in the middle of her electric guitar. It's just
My
like,
daughter is singing in that song.
really?
Yeah, in the back end.
I want you to know that all those sounds, 99% of them are me.
Wow.
I'm the siren. In Golden Age, like all that stuff is
Authentic.
there's no samples.
Hey, did you just change your clothes?
We have officially run out of beer. This is a quandary.
Well, I'm thinking about getting another one, man.
Yeah, I was like, it reminded me a little, we interviewed Kong, and they use like a lot of ambient noise and stuff like that, and it was kind of reminding me a little of that, but that's neat that was actually
Did you ask
real.
Matt Ellefson?
No.
Dave Ellefson's label, how did that come about?
Damn.
Ask him.
it was another time when Last Crack got kicked in the nuts.
Mm.
Well, wasn't all that bad.
We got Schluter. Okay, so Paul has a son named Ethan, and he's a musician, and he was learning bass. He saw an ad that Dave Ellefson is going to be at some like dinner party where you can pay to eat dinner with him and hang out and talk music.
Yeah.
So Ethan, Paul's son, said, "Let's do this, Dad." This is what I understand, okay? And then so Schluter's like, "All right, let's do it. Let's go to this dinner. I'll take some rough mixes along of the Uprising because we were kind of working on that."
Yeah.
And then they had dinner, and so it was Dave Ellefson and Tom Hazard, who's like Ellefson's A&R guy or something, kind of running Ellefson Music Productions label, EMP.
Mhm.
So they were all having dinner, and then Tom started talking to Paul, and Paul said, "Yeah, here's my stuff," and Tom said, "This is new Last Crack," and he goes, "Yeah." Well, he goes, "Wow, I'll definitely listen to it." So he said, "Yeah, I would release this for you guys." Okay. So we got a contract together, which was never signed by them. And then they started manufacturing CDs and vinyl and stuff, which was great. I don't think they were expecting to pay us a dime, Tom.
Well, okay, right. That's how that works. Okay.
Sounds like a good deal, doesn't it?
And I asked them both the contract repeatedly. We hired a lawyer to do this and everything to negotiate. It fell on deaf ears. It just sat there unsigned while he's selling all our shit. Went on. We never got a signed contract. And then in the meantime, we never got a statement. It's supposed to be quarterly, but we never got a statement. Tom basically said, "I believe in the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rule."
I don't remember that one.
So did you not get paid for the Uprising at all, or like what? Like,
Nothing. No.
Wow.
In fact, this is to add a kick in the nuts. Listen to this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be enjoying this, but it's almost so cruel and funny.
no, absolutely, yeah.
So
Oh,
then this whole sexting thing went down with Dave
With
Ellefson.
Ellefson, yeah, right, of course, yeah.
nice
So
guy.
the label crumbles, Tom Hazard crumbles, and then we get a call from EMP, quote unquote. I don't know if it was offshore or whatever, but they said, "We have about 1,500 units of your merchandise. If you want to buy your vinyl and your CDs, please send us $1,500.
What a deal.
And I'm like, this is such bullshit. This was like a civil suit.
Right.
And Paul said, Paul's really good about not making any enemies in the world,
right?
Especially in the music industry.
Right.
So Paul says, "Let's just give him the $1,500 and buy our product."
No, that was a good idea.
Like, okay, where's it gonna go? My house.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Okay, we'll write the check for $1,500 and UPS drops off all
That's a
our
good idea, though.
merchandise at Paul Schluter's
It was
house.
a
So
good idea.
he's in charge of selling that stuff now.
It's a good idea.
All I have are a couple shirts.
We got more than I do.
Anyway,
You,
so
you recorded
sad.
this whole album and all you end up with was a dumb t-shirt, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Where'd you get this chick?
No, I love it. It's so true.
I like her.
Yeah.
That could be, a record industry shirt that should be sold at every roadie table.
Well, why do you guys want to
Interesting
associate with?
thing, you know.
You don't want to associate with it.
Up for a moment, you know.
You don't want to be associated with a dry husk of a carcass that is Megadeth.
I just saw Tom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for hitting you. I was in San Fran. I saw him. I swear to God, I saw him on a little motorbike. June. Did I tell you that? No.
No.
Interesting. Well, I know your drummer isn't here, but I always thought the drumming was it's just such a driving force. It's kind of like the heartbeat behind it. Like, in Dirt Messiah, those tribal drums are just amazing. But I thought Chris was great on this record. How did you come to work with him?
Nice. Thanks for that point. Go ahead, dude.
How did we come to work with him? Well, he's been in the band longer than Phil ever was, actually.
Oh,
Really?
So he joined the band in like 94, I guess. So he's been with us for as long as we've been on and off since 94. All of this 3 drummer band stuff that I was referring to was prior to 95, 94.
Wasn't it kind of like
Good question.
I considered Ski played drums with you and Paul.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. So Chris was with us. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Chris was with us, with me and Paul since the age of 15, 16 years old. You know, so I go way back in cover bands. Then when I was 18, I hooked up with Phil that was on, you know, Sinister and Burning Time. And we made a 5-year run. And then Phil went to White Zombie. We disbanded. And then we got back with Chris, and Chris has been this drummer ever since. So we've always been with Chris. He's just been a friend since like the high school years, even though I did not go to high school with him, but I was in a cover band with him.
They have very different styles though.
Yeah.
Phil is a freaking warrior. Okay, you can tell. He attacks. Ski's more of a finesse guy, and he likes to lay back on the beat a bit. So it's a little more chill.
A lot of feel with Chris.
Yeah.
A lot of feel with Chris.
Phil's more of an attacker.
Phil likes to write his parts. Phil, I mean, his biggest asset, honest to God, was his business. I mean, he was a driving force. I mean, he'd get up in the morning, smoke a bong at 8 a.m, and call all these numbers. He knew everybody's names, and he would not stop driving.
Wow.
He was just a monster business-wise.
Yeah.
He hooked us up pretty much. He milked the Sarah Boyce cage thing. You know, he milked that.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for Phil, I just would have been wonderful friends with Sarah. But you know, she ended up being, you know,
A benefactor.
a benefactor, hardcore benefactor. I mean, she supplied us. She rented.
A lot of bands don't have a benefactor. You know, Supertramp had it. Supertramp had a benefactor.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They had a guy that was wealthy that, you know, just kept pouring money in until Give a Little Bit came out. Yeah, he did. That was in England though, a little different. Yeah.
Supertramp. So was there one guy in the band that connected with this guy?
It was some rich guy that got behind him and said, "I'm just going to keep giving you money until you make it." Yeah.
I think there's tons of bands like that. To be honest, we just don't know it. To be honest.
Factors. Yeah. I need a lot more of these, but I know
so do
I know a few. Yeah.
And quite in fact, you're never going to get anywhere unless somebody lifts you up, puts you on the next.
Yeah, there has to be somebody with pockets that can. Yeah, there has to be.
You get lifted to that rung of the ladder, still someone's going to lift.
You guys needed that.
Rung.
You needed more of that. You needed that more. I'll tell you what, Lollapalooza 1. I'm watching Jane's Addiction. I'm thinking Last Crack blows these fuckers out of the water.
Oh, I know that.
Fuck is Last Crack.
Totally kidding you. I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I remember like them.
Same producer.
They did a Rolling Stones cover, and I was like, really? You're doing a Stones cover at your festival the first year? Come on. We couldn't write our own songs? Hello. Yeah. This was my thought. Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah. I mean, how about let's have enough of original material? Come on, you know. Yeah. All right. All right. We're gonna play a game now. We're gonna ask you guys 5 questions.
We'll do 3 and 3.
3 and 3. Okay. We have a bank of questions, and you need to pick a number between 1 and 100.
So each of you pick 3 numbers.
Right. We'll start with you, Buddo. You pick 3 numbers between 1 and 100.
77.
Okay.
3 numbers between 1 and 100. For me now, go.
No, Buddo, you got 77. What else?
33. 11.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Your turn.
34, 68, and 2.
Okay.
And 2.
All right.
All right. So these are random questions with states, which is me.
Which is you.
All right. Number 77. What is your favorite Halloween costume that you ever wore?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
I think someone knows something.
Not a real fan of Halloween, but Magic 7 played a Halloween show at the Regent Street Retreat in Madison. And so I got to back up. As a kid, I was part of this Fort Fest pageant where we're all Indians and we had to run around on loincloths. And before we went out into the field to act this stuff like a real play, we use sponges in this kind of like rouge makeup. And so you've got like 50 kids putting on this rouge makeup that made us red. And it was so awesome. So that's what we did for this Magic 7 show at the Regent Street Retreat. I talked the band into like putting on this red rouge makeup and wearing tribal Indian stuff. And it was so cool.
That is cool.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I love it. All right, so we're moving on to number 33. What is the first
No, I
record-
said 34, to be honest with you. Oh, you. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
33. What is the first record or CD that you bought yourself?
It's always bad. It's okay.
I can see clearly now the
No.
rain is gone. Johnny Nash. I can see clearly. On a 45.
Oh yeah.
I work for an ophthalmologist, and that his picture in that is on his wall.
Yeah.
Nice.
He still thinks that's great. Yeah.
I like that
Number
song.
11. If you could instantly learn a language without studying it, which one would you pick?
Well, I want to say Nihongo, but I would say Chinese.
Ooh.
Mm.
I know a little Japanese, but I think Chinese is the one to learn.
That's hard.
Practical. Yeah.
Yeah. The future is
That's the
uncertain.
future. Yeah.
My son took 4 years of Japanese in high school. I'm like, I won't be able to help you with that homework. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
When
did?
My son.
Yeah. Yeah.
My son
wow.
took 4 years. I was like, I can't help you with that homework. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 3 alphabets. I mean,
There's your out. That was your easy out, you know.
This
Yeah.
symbol means man carrying water. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. 34. What does your work from home uniform look like?
Oh, let's hear this. Yeah.
Work from home?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are we seeing it now?
No. I would say sweatpants without any underwear, no socks, no shirt, possibly, depending on the weather. Just being straight with you.
No. I totally get it. I wake up in the morning and I go, am I being filmed? No. Do I have to go in the office? No. I'm not taking a fucking shower. Fuck that.
Why strap those jewels up if you don't have to?
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck all y'all. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 68. What band are you embarrassed to admit liking?
Oh.
Ooh, I'm not embarrassed to admit any band that I
Yeah.
like. Truly.
There's no guilty pleasure. Yeah.
No, but if there was, I could tell you a few.
You're with your hardcore people. Yeah.
ABBA.
Okay.
I loved Donny Osmond when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Donny Osmond. And then what else would it
I had
be?
purple socks because of the fucking show. Yeah.
What else would it be that I'm not embarrassed of any of the
Amy
bands.
Man.
No, Amy Man. I love Amy Man. There's no reason.
Oh my god. Yeah.
No, I love Amy Man so much.
What's that Rush song? Force. What's the? She does that intro to the Rush song. Fuck.
But yeah.
So you
Time
talking?
stands still.
Time
so-
stand. Oh, you knew it. There it is.
I don't know that, but what the Dodo Bird album? I just absolutely love that album. Oh my god, I don't know what it's called, but that's hard. So I'm not embarrassed of anything, but I love. Oh my god, you know I love old Rod Stewart. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
72, 71.
Rod the Mod.
But
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed of that at all.
Yeah.
So I could keep going on, but there's no embarrassment. So next,
Yeah. Like so. Remember, like Casino, and they play that. I ain't superstitious, and it's the Rod the Mod version. Remember? I
is
ain't
it?
superstitious?
Is it good though?
When a black cat crossed my path, bum bum. Yeah, so good.
Man, I love old Rod Stewart. You know,
Fucking
you wanna-
Rod the Mod. I love it too. Yeah.
listen to me. Do you really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
yeah.
went 80s, and I don't like that. I can't swallow that.
Well,
pill.
all right. So I'll tell you what. I remember I was on a couch with a girl I was dating in the 80s, and he was doing "Some Guys Have No Luck," and I said, "Rod's luck has run out," and she was like, "Yeah, you're right."
So how many? seems like 8 out of 10 musicians have done that. They went through their phase where you don't want to.
The 80s were fucking hard, man. The 80s were hard. Yeah. The bell bottoms went away. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it hard for us? No, we started at the tail end.
No, you guys were at the cusp of the new.
Tail end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know there's another. I'm gonna drive home tonight thinking, man, I should have mentioned them, but I can't think of anybody.
Some guys should have stopped singing. Yeah, that's
Hey, so like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, I woke up with this song in my head and I'm like, I gotta listen to that. So I Googled it up, whatever I could remember, and I listened to the whole damn thing, and it is. Do you remember? Shannon has gone.
Oh, I like that song.
Yes.
Drifted out to sea.
I like that song.
I read all the lyrics and I'm like, I love this song as a kid. It made me so sad. It's about a dog dying. And
Is it really?
yeah, it was so cheesy. I couldn't believe it, but wow.
Yeah, well, I remember all right, so I remember in the like the 80s and the early 90s, I liked the Rush songs, and then they would do the videos, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore.
Agree.
Like,
How about
they were
in
not
the-
actors. They were terrible.
Yeah.
in the
Oh my God,
shopping
it was like,
malls?
what have you done? Yeah.
Man,
All right, we got one more question for Don.
All right, one more question for Don.
If you could eradicate a TV show from existing, which one would you pick?
There you go.
easy. I'm gonna broaden that though. I'm sorry. All of them with laugh tracks, for God's sakes.
You know, we do a bit of comedy on our podcast when we're just doing our regular shtick.
Yeah.
We have heard podcasts that use laugh tracks.
Yeah.
You do?
It's like you're supposed to laugh here, so laugh.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Like I'll laugh when I want to laugh. Thank you. Don't
Thank you.
stop me.
People need to be told, okay? Some people.
Oh my God.
I,
In
there-
case you
there's
didn't notice,
a
that
couple.
was funny. We
Oh
think
my
it's funny.
God.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there's one or two that I know I'm gonna think of once again. I mean, oh my God, I just can't think right now. But laugh tracks. But there's a
Laugh
couple
tracks, terrible.
in my
I
living
agree.
room. I don't want to watch.
Oh my God. So I had a question for you guys. You actually perform with one of my favorite groups, which is Pop Evil. How was it
Oh.
like working with them?
That was at the Sylvie.
Yeah, the
2021.
bass player blow dried his hair for 40 minutes. Oh, I see.
For so long. For so long. That's great.
I'm sorry. That's what I remember.
That's
great.
That's why we hired you.
I think that's an important thing to remember. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I don't know. I didn't talk to anybody. and
Yeah,
I
we
didn't-
were kind of in our own.
yeah,
little-
we're in
we got a hallway.
Hmm.
We got a hallway.
No, we shared the deli. I think
I can't stop laughing at that.
we
He
shared the
blow
deli.
dried his hair for so long.
No, I
I
said
love
a bass player. Is that what you said? I regret saying it already.
Are you done yet? Because we're running out of voltage for the amps. I'll
Right.
be done in a minute.
Isn't that-
I'll be done.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Are you
There you
done?
go, Pop Evil.
Yeah, I love him. I love his hair. Look,
Awesome.
Cool.
my daughter's like a very bougie, and I'm not, and had this thing where she went to Miami and she's like, and I got my hair a Brazilian blowout because why not? And I'm like, because you don't need to spend $75 to have your hair blown out. I could do that for you.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just pay for it.
Yeah. So tell me there's more on tap for you guys because I'm addicted now.
Yeah, is there more or less crack on tap?
Oh, if we wanted to, sure.
Is this
We just have to make
like-
us want to do it.
super secret? Yeah.
Just kidding.
It's
We
really
doing
weird.
Demos, we're recording, or what?
I think that
Just shit out there.
Paul. So right now, Paul and Reno Todd are in a cover band called Foo Foo Dolls. They're really busy. And then Paul's married to Elizabeth Mary, who's a country artist. And so I think there's a lot of time that's being occupied doing her career right now with merchandising and recording and producing and even playing shows. So I just don't know if Last Crack is going to be able to get it together. I just
Why
don't.
don't
I
you
bought a
move?
house in Mexico. I'm kind of hoping to move down there, like in the next year and a half to 2 years,
Really?
full time. So I don't know. I don't know. We
I
got.
vote yes.
I love you.
We'll put together this killer tour. Don't worry. We'll have you. You know, like
It's
let's
just
see. We'll do
there's-
Clutch.
There's so many bands that just
We'll
keep.
do you guys and Static X. It'll be great.
There's so many bands that just keep putting out music that we don't want to hear. Metallica, we don't want to hear it. But you guys, we want to hear it, and we're dying for it. It's like
I guess we're gonna have to come to Madison and see you guys end time.
yeah.
I don't
So
know
many
what to say.
bands we want to stop, but you
I don't know
guys
what to say
want
either.
more.
But I'm always, hey, listen, I'm always there. So if it doesn't happen, it's not because of me.
Yeah. No, I understand.
All right, I'm putting in my vote.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We want more Last Crack
Because
music.
Him or somebody else.
Preferably.
Yeah. Well, you guys, thanks for doing this. I mean, it was
No,
great.
thank you.
It was
Yep,
great to
thank
go.
you.
Do you believe that we're hardcore now? Because I mean, wow. I mean,
You look hardcore to me.
yeah, I've been Last Crack for since '89. I've been.
I did not know that. And I appreciate it.
No, I mean, it's such a shame that the labels would gatekeep bands from their fans like us. You guys never knew that we were out there, but we were. So
No, I always knew it.
yeah.
No, I truly knew you guys were out there. Other people didn't.
Yeah, there was
Life-
this, yeah.
There's a lot of varying factors in everything that goes, right? Everything
Yeah.
that happens.
Well, for better or worse, we love the uprising. We took it as a sign that Last Crack is not dead, and they're going to continue. And let's just
put Spotify and stuff out now. I mean, I can't remember the last time I listened to like FM radio, so I'm thinking that might end up changing things up a bit, and I think a lot of people do the same thing.
I almost bought Dave
Yeah.
Ellison's biography at the fucking dollar store.
Oh my god!
And so I opened it up, and it was all about his life with Jesus. And I just politely put.
Well, is he doing that?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the post rehab,
Yeah.
What was he in rehab for? I don't know what he was doing.
Who knows? I don't know. Not getting paid for Megadeth, I guess. Pissing off Dave, but Dave's called Jesus too. I can't watch interviews with Dave either.
Ellison? Or wait.
No,
Dave
either
Ellison.
one. Both of the Daves, Ellison
of them.
and Mustaine.
Man, he was
I
like,
can't
boom, boom, boom.
watch interviews with either one of them because it's all about Jesus. I hate it. I can't stand it. Yeah. The man that wrote The Conjuring and The Mechanics and everything else.
Humping
It's all about Jesus.
into Jesus now. Then he was doing that, huh?
Well, yeah, we all know about that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, but that's how that goes. I mean, you go from heroin to rehab to Jesus.
You have to have another addiction.
We all know this. We all.
Well,
know
you got to fill it with something, huh?
Right?
You gotta fill it with something. You eat, whatever. That's your addiction. Yeah. So, and I will not edit this. And this is how I feel about Megadeth. So yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but it was great to talk to you guys, and I'm so glad that we connected, and I can't wait to hear more Last Crack music. So yeah.
Well, tell Paul.
Yes. We're
Nice to
big.
meet you guys.
Yeah.
It was very comfortable talking with you.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah. So thanks, you guys, and we will let you know when the show's up.
And we'll come to Madison if necessary.
We will.
Okay.
It's
And
not.
this is-
It's not outside of possibilities. We will go to Madison if we have to. The Milwaukee airport has
like
a
that.
used bookstore in it.
What's that?
So
Yeah.
How do
There's a
they
cou-
stay in business?
I don't know, man, because we're an erudite town.
I would walk through there and I would be like, "This book is $1.30. How are you paying airport prices?"
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. So is this episode 1 of the
Yes.
next season?
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
This is your first episode of our next season. Yeah, it's a big deal because I love Last Crack. I have always loved it. Yeah.
We get the first episode, huh?
The
Of
first, yeah.
season 3. Yeah. We just ended
Yeah.
season 2 with Hell Freaks.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to them,
Yeah.
check out their YouTube. They do a cover of Sabotage, and it's a female singer, and Sue kills it.
Yeah. Really good.
Cool.
Amazing.
All right. All right, you
Awesome.
gentlemen. Thanks very much.
Thank you
Gentlemen
guys.
and Don, appreciate it.
Thank
Man,
you.
thank you guys,
All right,
both of you
enjoy.
so much. I really appreciate it.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.